I did not find out that I was pregnant until I was like 4.5, 5 months pregnant.
One time, she's got to be. Lego!
What's good, my peoples?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and introducing.
It's your girl Nicole. Welcome. If you are new, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you've been rocking with me, okay, thank you, boo. Alright, y'all, so it's literally the middle of the night and I couldn't sleep and I thought about a video idea, so I decided to record. So as you can see from the title, like, I'm not kidding, like, that's literally my experience. So let me tell you the backstory and the history. So I am currently 28. My son is 8 years old. I got pregnant when I was 19 and I had my son when I was 20. I did not find out that I was pregnant until I was like 4.5, 5 months pregnant. So I was in college at the time, and like I said, I was 19 and it was Valentine's Day. And my boyfriend at the time came to visit me, and so that happened. I guess my period was supposed to come on the next couple of weeks, and it didn't come on, but I didn't think anything of it because my period was very irregular. I was on like a birth control. Okay, I was on birth control when I got pregnant. Okay, so I was on birth control, and the type of birth control I was on, I got like 4 periods a year. So it was very irregular. Like, it didn't come all the time when it was supposed to, okay? So when it didn't come, like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, oh, okay, you know, birth control is just, you know, doing its thing. And so, like I said, I was in college at the time. So, you know, I was partying. I'm 19, like, having a good time, enjoying myself. I didn't really have like any symptoms by this time. Before I got pregnant, I weighed about 110 pounds, and I think I was gaining like a couple pounds here and there, but nothing like crazy alarming. So over the summertime, I wasn't in school, I wasn't taking any classes, but I was working as a camp counselor. And so my son's father, he went to school within the state, but in a city like super far away. But he actually came back home for the summertime as well, and we both worked at the same place. My son's father asked me one time, like, do you think you might be pregnant? Like, you should take a pregnancy test. And I was looking at him like, what? Like, I was so like, I was just like, huh? No, like, how could I be pregnant? Like, I was just like, this is crazy. And so he was just like, nah, you know, you should just take a pregnancy test. So I was like, why do you think I should take a pregnancy test? And he felt like I gained some weight, but by the time we were having this conversation, I probably weighed like 115 pounds. So I probably only gained about 5 pounds more than I normally was. So I guess that was alarming for him. And so I was like, okay, so Nicole, you're not going to get upset. You're just going to, you know, try to just take the test. So I ended up taking the pregnancy test, and it turned and said that I was pregnant so quick, but the instructions said you have to wait like a couple minutes, but mine turned like really quick. So I was like, something wrong with this test. So I took a couple more, and they all were coming out pregnant, and I was like, this can't be serious. Mind you, I am 19, so I am scared. Like, I am so scared. I'm living with my mom. Like, it's the summertime, so I'm like, okay, so my mom was home. So I go to my mom, and I'm like, I don't know how this could have happened. But, I took a couple pregnancy tests, and, you know, it says I was pregnant. I don't think it's right, because, you know, it could be a cheap pregnancy test. Like, you know, I was 19. I wasn't buying like a whole bunch of expensive ones. Like, I was buying like the little, you know. So my mom was real cool about it. Like, my mom wasn't tripping. Like, she asked me though. First thing she asked me, she was like, how could this have happened? I'm like,
I don't know how this could have happened.
So we go to the doctor, and so I get to the doctor, and they're basically like, you know, they do the ultrasound and all that stuff. And they're like, yeah, you're pregnant. And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, you're having a boy. And I was like, They was like, yeah, like, you've been pregnant for a while. And mind you, I'm not showing. Like, you couldn't tell that I was pregnant just from looking at me. Like, it was crazy. So I pretty much found out that I was halfway through the pregnancy. You know, me and his dad had a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, we was living in 2 different cities because he was going to school somewhere else, and I was here in Charlotte going to school. So it was a lot. So like, because I was 19 and I looked super young, like I looked about 15 or 16. I tried to hide it a lot, but I wasn't really showing most of the time either. So nobody really knew I was pregnant until about October. October was probably when I started showing. And then early November. So my son was due December 8th. He was supposed to be due December 8th. And in early November, I had my baby shower. I only have like 1 picture of myself when I was pregnant, and I don't even know where that picture went. Like, I don't have any pregnancy pictures because I was so ashamed, y'all. Like, I was so ashamed. I'm like, how could this have happened? Like, I was just so ashamed. So I do not have any pregnancy pictures. But yeah, so early November, I had a baby shower. My aunt threw me a baby shower, my aunt and my mom, and it was just so emotional, and I was so thankful for them. And then Thanksgiving came around. So this is Thanksgiving 2012. Thanksgiving was on November 22nd this year. And my little sister, she was in a parade. She was in the Thanksgiving Day parade here in Charlotte. And so I'm, you know, about due. I am like, you know, I only had like 3 more weeks left or whatever. And my sister was in the parade, and so I went to the parade to support her. I'm walking all up and down the street, like, you know, getting my exercise in. Next, you know, I went to my aunt's house, hung out with family, we ate, you know, had a great Thanksgiving as usual. And then I went back home to take a nap before I went out Black Friday shopping. Mind you, 8 months pregnant, Black Friday shopping. I was not playing, okay? Especially back then. Like, back then in 2012, like, Black Friday shopping was serious, okay? So I'm out Black Friday shopping. I had one of my homegirls with me. My mom was with me. My sister was with me. So we went to this mall out here called Concord Mills. And I'm in the line at the children's place because, you know, I know I'm having a baby, so I'm buying him some clothes. I'm in the store at the children's place, and I felt like I was peeing on myself. And I was like,
What's going on?
I felt like I couldn't control my bladder. Like, I don't know what was going on. So this is Thanksgiving night. I'm standing there, and I'm like, and I got clothes in my hand. I'm in the line, like, and so I'm trying to figure out, if this is an emergency. Like, I was like, like, I've been waiting in this line mad long. Like, I want to get to the front of the line, but this might be it, you know, this might be it. And so, so I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, she on the other side of the mall, okay? So I'm in there with my friend, and I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's going on, but I feel like I'm peeing on myself. I just want to go home. And she was like, okay, we can leave. So she comes to get me, and she's like, are you sure you want to go home? Like, maybe we should go to the hospital. And I was like, nah, I don't want to go to the hospital. I want to go home. So me and my mom both drove a stick shift. And so we both were just going to leave, go home. I was just going to lay down, you know, because I just wasn't feeling good. And so my mom actually convinced me to go to the hospital with her. Now, nobody else around us could drive a stick shift. So here we are. I have a stick shift. My mom has a stick shift. So we had 2 cars. But my mom didn't want me to drive. So I had to leave my car there. So I had to leave my car at the mall overnight and just pray that they didn't tow my car. So I had to find somebody who could drive a stick shift who can come back and get my car, because if I really was about to have the baby, my car was going to be there for quite some time. Mind you, it's Thanksgiving, so I'm off from school for Thanksgiving break. My son's father is off from school for Thanksgiving break, and he goes to school super far away. So he just happened to be in the same town as me during break. Now, my son wasn't due until December 8th, so had I had him on December 8th, his dad might have missed it. So I felt like that was nothing but God saying, you know, it's time. So my mom is like, you know, let's just go to the hospital. So I was like, all right, fine. So I called my son's father and I was like, hey, grab my bag, the baby bag, grab all the bags, get a change of clothes, meet us at the hospital. And he was like, what's going on? Because he's sleeping. So this is the middle of the night. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And so he's sleeping. And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I feel weird. My water might have broke, but it don't feel like, it didn't break like it does in the movies. Like in the movies, like when your water break, it's just like, psh. Like my water was like trickling down. I'm sorry. It's a lot of information. But yeah, so I called him and I was like, yeah, can you grab all the stuff and meet me at the hospital? So he actually got to the hospital before we did because we was in traffic. We was in Black Friday traffic. And so when we finally got to the hospital, I walked in. It's me and my homegirl. And I walked in and I was like,
hi, excuse me. My water might have broken.
and the lady goes, ma'am, are you pregnant? And I was like, well, I said my water broke. So, yeah, that would imply that I'm pregnant, okay? And so, like, I was so small, like, I was barely showing, like, nobody really ever knew when I was pregnant. Nobody could pinpoint that I was pregnant. I literally just popped up with a baby. So, anywho, so they grab a wheelchair, put me in the wheelchair. They take all my, like, documentation, like my insurance paperwork and stuff like that. I was like, wow, y'all make sure y'all get y'all money before y'all see anybody, huh? So yeah, so they put me and my son's father in this room, and so we're in this room, and they're basically like, if we put this, you know, parchment paper or whatever it was up against you and it turns a certain color, then it's time to have the baby. If not, then we'll send you back home. So they did their little test and it was time to have the baby. So I was like, all right, cool. So then they were asking me questions like, do you feel your contractions and stuff like that? And I was like, no. And it was okay, we're gonna give you some stuff to feel it, you know, harder. And so I was like, okay, cool. And they was like, do you think that you want to do any type of pain medication? I was like, nope, I'm not doing the epidural. I'm not doing, you know, nothing. I'm about to have this baby natural, you know, okay, you know, other people have done it. I'm gonna do it. So they was like, okay, girl. So, you know, we in there, a couple hours go by, like, you know, everybody's sitting in the room waiting for my son to get here. And so about like maybe like 6 or 7 in the morning, I started feeling the contractions like hard, like hard, okay? Like my contractions were coming, like it was crazy. And so I was in a lot of pain. And so I was like, lovely nurse, okay, can I have that epidural that you was offering me earlier, you know? She came in and she checked me. She was like, oh, baby, it's too late now. I was like, oh my gosh. So I had got to the point of no return. Like, there was no point, like, I had to do this without the epidural. I didn't think I was going to make it. I was like, I didn't think I was going to make it, y'all. So it got to about 7, 8 o'clock, and I was like, yo, like, I feel like I gotta use the bathroom. Like, I gotta use the bathroom. And they were like, no, it might be time for the baby. And I was like, well, whatever's going on, like, I was like, I gotta use the bathroom. Somebody gotta help me. And so, of course, it was time for the baby. And so all I know was they dropped the whole half of the bed and it was time for me to push. Now, mind you, I don't have no epidural, no pain medication, no nothing going on here, okay? So I was pushing for like, I pushed like 16 times. Like I was in so much pain, y'all. Like it was the worst experience. Like if you have the option, like please do your research. If you don't want to get the epidural, please at least do your research on what other pain medications there are out there. Because when I tell you that was the most painful experience I've ever, like I felt every shoulder, everything like that came out. Like it was ridiculous. So finally my son came at 11:11 a.m. okay, and then I had to get stitches, okay, and then he was here and everything was great. But now by this time I was 20. My birthday's in October, so my birthday is a month before his, so I ended up having him on November 23rd, a day after Thanksgiving, which was such a blessing because his dad was there. My mom is a workaholic, so she was there. Like his mom was there, my friend was there, my sister was there. So I was surrounded by so many loved ones, and it was such a journey. But yeah, so I think that, you know, I had a great support system, and thank goodness I didn't need to get like any extra surgeries, or, you know, there was no complications because like I said, I didn't have no pain medication. So I don't know what that would have looked like. Like, yeah, it would have been crazy. Like literally with my friends and my peoples and everybody, like it's like I literally just popped up with a baby. Like because I like I said, I wasn't there for half my pregnancy. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my crazy story, y'all. So this is my first story time on my channel. So, you know, give it a little like, you know, if you want me to do some more story times, because, you know, my life been a little crazy now. I can't tell y'all all my business now. I can't tell you all my business, but I tell y'all a little something. Thanks for listening, y'all. Bye.